Good day, podcast community. Pete Kane here, founder of the Pete Kane Podcast Show. Parenting. Wow. Why parents? Why parenting with a purpose matters. 3 tips to improve your parenting. Now, let me clarify. Nobody's perfect. However, to be a good parent, we need mentoring. We need people that do it the best because we have 12 to 60,000 thoughts that go through our head. Most of it is replaying our past. So if we have models in our journey of parenting that aren't a positive behavior, they're going to be replicated because you don't know any different. So I'm going to give you 3 tips. You're looking at Growth Day and Parenting Masterclass. So let's go to it so I can give you some support here because we all need it as parents. It's the toughest thing we'll ever do. So let's do it with a little bit of guidance, mentoring, people that do it very well. So when we look at the changing times, our past is our past. You can't change that. People that grew up like I did at 67, they didn't have YouTube. They didn't have resources that they have today. But that has changed. That's why we say changing lives, changing times. And the changing times have Growth Day providing you with a master class of parenting. Look at what's available in this masterclass. Welcome to Parenting Masterclass. Brendan Bouchard on changing lives. And as a good parent, we can change lives. Jenna Kutcher, becoming a new parent. There's a whole set of challenges when you become a new parent. And if you have somebody that has been seeking mentoring, help, support, learning, growing, parenting doesn't become so overwhelming. And it is. You'll never get ahead of it, but you can keep up. You can provide better skills to be a better parent. The second one, Dr. Daniel Amen, the skills of a frazzled parent. He is the brain doctor. He sees tens of thousands of people, works with them on their brain. What happens when that brain gets frazzled? It changes. And being able to not master, but handle tough situations as a parent is a skill. And when you learn that skill, you're able to approach it differently. The next one is Jonathan Fields on the 6 key parenting principles. Jonathan has had a podcast for 10 years, has been working with people on human behavior. And part of parenting is understanding human behavior, how you talk to your kids, the way you reinforce it, the words that you use matter. They hear no 80% more than they hear yes. So we have to be very intentional about the encouragement of it. And it does affect the brain. If you've got 12 to 60,000 thoughts going through this brain and you're replaying the past, and maybe there's some behaviors that you've taken over from your past, they always say our behavior of today is what happened in the past. And so we have to rewire the brain. Rewiring the brain helps us to develop new skills, new habits, new ways of learning to be a better parent. The next one, Anthony Trucks talks on healthy family dynamics. The communication is what he emphasizes in this. There are ways to communicate better. And if somebody is teaching you on that, you can communicate better. So Anthony's going to go deep into that topic so we can be effective communicators with our spouse, with our family, with our friends. Because if you learn how to communicate correctly, you have a healthier lifestyle. Then Alex or Turner, I don't, whatever, on self-love, forgiveness, and growth. Self-love, forgiveness, and growth. Part of it is forgiving. You can't change the past. So if you hang on to things that happened in your childhood, it's just going to manifest in a negative way. So forgiving, self-love, love ourselves. Life is tough. Give yourself some grace. I have some people that I have met along the way. She had a really rough um, family life, and she held on, not giving herself grace about how it was tough, and she survived. But if we always replay the negative parts of that past, it's going to manifest in how we love ourselves. And it's important for you to love others, you have to love yourself. So the next one is Glow Tamano, I think, on parenting impact. Parenting impact. She has a perspective that helps you to know what impact are you making on your kids? What's the lasting impact? Because our behavior today comes from our past. So if we're not rewiring that brain and giving good positive patterns that create healthier families, we end up having things that we see in society, burning Teslas and doing crazy things because their behavior is being manifested. We want to manifest positive, loving behavior, forgiving people, loving yourself. And the last one is David Bosch on the life lessons for kids, teaching them money strategies. When you teach money strategies, you're giving them a solid foundation. Because if we don't learn delayed gratification at an early age, we keep feeding that gratification muscle. And if we feed the gratification muscle, the delayed gratification, which is so important, doesn't get developed. So let me say here, thank you so much. If you want to get Growth Day, here's 7 days for free. Go to GrowthDay, go to peakgain.com, peakgain.me/GrowthDay. And then if you subscribe, it's an affiliate. They help us sponsor, help us pay for a lot of our content that we put out there. We're going to give you our free Mindset, Goals, and Habits course. So send us a support ticket to support@peakgain.me. Thank you so much. Parenting is a challenge. Lean into your challenge and be the best you can be.